Hey guys, welcome back for the BMW Alternator case study and replacement. Finally got a reman alternator from Napa, the exact right one. We're here chilling with Diagnostic Dog. What's up, Petey? You doing all right? Got the fire going. And Petey here, our rat terrier, he's over 18 years old and he's unfortunately on his last legs. He has heart problems. Sometimes he like passes out. We're not sure if he's gonna wake up, and then he miraculously recovers and kind of, you know, keeps on ticking. But this might be the last time you see him, so everyone say hi to Petey. Yeah, are you enjoying time in your man cave? No, he's been a great dog. Oh yeah. He's gonna chill out here on the MPV couch, and we are gonna get to this thing. I got some parts here. You might say, what do we need hoses for? We're doing an alternator. Well, I'll show you in a second. So here is our reman unit, and as you can see, the rear of the alternator matches up. The Bosch unit, the plug is correct, the oval type. You know, 2 pins. And this guy here, they even tested it out at idle. I guess we don't really need that, but 100 amps at idle, 120 amps at 2400 RPM. So hopefully this thing works as, you know, as the old one did. 12 volt, 120 amp. Complete test report. Sweet. Other things I wanted to do here, all these other miscellaneous parts, is this thing has a pretty massive oil leak. When we took the alternator off, you can see the whole engine block is soaked with oil. And the common culprit for that is an O-ring behind this oil filter mount. Here's the oil filter. So 6 bolts shouldn't be too bad to replace. Also, this power steering hose has seen better days, so we're replacing the hose, the clamp, and this Vanos oil feed line, that's all wet. Replacing that. And I think that should be it. So all the parts are here. This cost like 120 bucks at the BMW dealership, but all OEM stuff. And also the O-ring for the cap here. This is, you know, all nasty and covered in fluid. So there's an O-ring right under the dipstick cap, right there. We'll pop a new one on. So let me take care of those things. I won't have the camera on. Then once we install the alternator, fire it up, see what the output is, and hopefully this thing will be fixed for a while. So we popped off this assembly with the oil filter and also the power steering pumps attached to the bottom of that, just 6 bolts. And our culprit for all this oil leakage is this O-ring gasket right in here. I guess it just gets baked and doesn't seal very well anymore. So if I can get it out with a pick or something, that would be very nice. I got a little heavier duty pick, and this thing is freaking baked in here. It's coming out in pieces. Not pliable at all. No wonder it's not sealing. Try to get it out in one piece, so, well, no, that didn't happen. Kind of, oh. Make sure the pieces don't go in the oil galleries, obviously. I don't know what kind of rubber they use, but it's definitely not heat resistant. Easy does it. There's still a piece. Is that it? I think that's it. Alrighty. There's the remains. Most of it. Here's our new pliable gasket, and it looks like it goes just about like this. Show it in here. So for these things, you definitely want to go with dealer parts, because if you get, I don't know if Dorman makes a gasket, they might. It'll probably only last a couple months and then start leaking again, and no one wants that. So all this stuff I'm not too worried about. Just get most of the residual oil out so it doesn't look like the leak is still there. If you start blowing it out with compressed air, I think it'll just go everywhere, and we don't want the dirt and grime getting into the oil passages at all. So just kind of go through with a paper towel and try to get most of it out. Alright, happy with that. So let's put this thing back. And before we do that, just to make things a little bit easier, we can pop on the new oil feed line. Vanos oil feed line, this guy. So basically, replacing the alternator, we're already here, and you need to take the alternator off anyways to get this piece off. So it's kind of a no-brainer to take care of this while we're here. So banjo bolt, one crush washer there, and then just put it right through the hose. Second crush washer, and then we'll just thread it in to the oil filter housing. And that way we won't need to snake it through or whatever, and we'll just leave it loose for now. Pop this guy back into place. Line up the holes best you can with the dowels. Let's see. Okay, right there. That's where it wants to be. We'll put in a bolt just to keep it from flopping around. Sweet. So we'll bolt this back on, probably do the power steering, and then put the alternator back in. So the BMW is all buttoned up. Didn't want to bore you with the details. Reman alternator in place. We got the power steering fluid topped off. Everything's plugged in. All we got to do now is reconnect the battery, hook up our voltmeter, and as Scotty Kilmer would say, pray that this thing works. Nice and tight. Hook up our trusty amp clamp and multimeter. We're 12.2 right now. The battery's not fully charged, like halfway. Let's fire it up. Alrighty. Sweet. Check engine lights on. I don't know if it remembered the codes or not. Just let it chill for a little bit. We're at 14.1, that's good. Go to our amps, zeroed out, up around negative battery cable. About 6 amps going into the battery, and if we just hook around the one going to the car, oh come on, about 42 amps. Yep, that's reasonable. Hook around both of them. There's 6 amps charging the battery. So the battery's almost fully charged, even though it's showing 12.2. And we'll see. Let's take it for a spin. Alright, so clear the computer memory. We're at 13.7 volts on the scanner. Let's take it for a spin. Alrighty, I went around the block about 10 miles. The only code stored in the computer is the thermal oil level sensor, so we'll address that later, but no generator codes, no battery light. Let's do a final check of the voltmeter back here. I like the trunk lighting. Oh, come on, stop it. About 14.1. That's fine. And then our amps, make sure it's zeroed out. So yeah, less than 2 amps. So this battery is, looks like it's fully charged now. And that's it. Awesome. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little case study on this BMW charging system problem. It was the alternator, so we would have been right if we just guessed at the code and, you know, threw an alternator in it. It was a little pain to find the right one. Napa did have the right one. It seems to work. So far so good. Fingers crossed that this thing will stay working and that the owner decides to keep it long term, because that means more money for Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics. Keep cranking out the videos on the Euro. But thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.